Let's hear it for batch recording. The only downside of going with YouTube is that I keep having the same clothes on. Or the same shirt. I need to remember to start changing my shirt between takes. Note, I literally see the board back there. You can see that board back there. I write down things like that. Like I write down like you got to have the checklist, right? You've got to have the process checklist. So before you start recording an episode, blow your nose, clear your throat, have your water handy, um, and do all these things. I'm going to add change your shirt. Why don't I do that? Here we go. Hopefully you can still hear me. Change outfit between batch recordings. Thank you for listening. Change outfit. When batch recording, change outfits. And actually, I think I was on on the 2CCX group that I'm in. This is not an ad for the 2CCX, but if I need to get my Russell Brunson affiliate links in there. So if you do jump on the Russell Brunson ClickFunnel.com secret 2CCX chain, I can partake in the revenue share. But that's not my purpose. Sorry, I've totally gone down the rabbit hole yet again. Yay for batch recording. Yay for writing on the checklist. Change your shirt. Where am I going? I think this is episode 6 of complete meltdown right out of the gate. All right. When I was asked to be one of the hot seat participants, I think I might have left a little bit of an open loop there. I did not actually get asked to be on the hot seat on the I'm looking over here. I've got another screen over here on the Ecom versus Expert SmackDown virtual conference. Is that what we call this thing? Yes, the virtual conference. I did not get asked. I was not a shill. I was asked to be a shill. Anybody, if you know what a shill is, I was a professional poker player in my youth. No joke, professional poker player. I actually was in the World Series of Poker 92 or 3 or something like that. Before it was massively as big as it is. As a matter of fact, who was the guy? There was another Brunson guy, the big card player. I'm sure he's dead for decades now, but what was his name? It was at Brunson or never mind. Another rabbit hole. But when you're a professional poker player, oftentimes if you go to the casinos or any of the Oaks Card Room in Emeryville or Ocean's 11 or all these different card rooms. By the way, I quit gambling in 1995, so that's many, many lifetimes ago. But I did have fun with it for a while. I digress yet again, but I will continue. A shill is somebody who's paid to sit in the game. So that if there's not enough people at the table, you pay somebody to sit and play hands so that the tourists can have their game. So it's called a shill. So when I was going to be a professional poker player, I was like, maybe I'll be a shill. So I literally went and interviewed shills, like people who did it professionally. I interviewed professional poker players when I was deciding, am I going to really make a run at this? Oh my God. To a beat, to a person, every one of them said, don't do it. It's a horrible life. I swear to you, not one of them was happy that they were professional poker players and that they were shilling, that they were paid shills as well. But the tournaments were fun. I was a good tournament player for a brief window of time. So I got asked to be a shill, perhaps if you want to call it that, for the e-commerce expert information or whatever for the e-com versus expert SmackDown. But I did not need to participate, but I did get to be there. But part of it was the reason I'm talking about this yet again. Try number 3. Thank you for listening. And subscribe, follow. I believe the subscribe button's right down there. Subscribe, people. Even just saying subscribe totally throws me off. So being on the asked to be a participant of the hot seat on the Ecom versus Expert SmackDown, I needed to be able to frame my question. And so my question was, this was my question, because I had a question. I was like, yeah, I'm ready with a question. This is what I'm working on. I've got my podcast going, podcast YouTube channel. You're watching it right now. You're subscribing in the bottom right corner. And I'm really working on, I've just come out of this phase of just create content, and let it grow organically. So a good portion of you watching, thank you for watching and listening and supporting me and subscribing. We all got to learn how to ask people to subscribe, follow, like, look, or not. But I was just really working on getting the content out and not worrying about, promoting the show and getting out there. And so now I'm really starting about a month ago in earnest, 2 months ago, whatever it is. It was like, all right, I'm going to figure out how to repurpose my content, start getting it out there on shorts, reels, stories, TikToks. Definitely, I'm like, oh my gosh, now that I'm getting this repurposed and the links and the thumbnails and all that, I can really start pushing it out on Twitter. I can start pushing it out on with just an extra couple clicks of buttons, right? I'm just like the light bulb's going off. I'm like, oh my God, I just really see a vision of how you can make yourself available for people to listen, enjoy, and learn from your content. Snapchat, LinkedIn. Like I talk about business stuff. I talk about sales stuff. I talk about marketing. And so I could, and I interview these types of people now too. So I could easily, with a push of a few more buttons, go to, LinkedIn. So I'm started repurposing the content, creating the standard operating procedures, gaining traction. Actually, it's great. As the little bit I've been doing it, it's created lots of engagement and downloads and opportunities to talk to people, help people, work with people. That's one route. The other route is to start putting yourself out there strategically and aggressively, systematically, putting yourself out there to be available to speak on other people's podcasts, to speak on other people's YouTube channels, to be interviewed or to be interviewed for blogs. A lot of people think the blogosphere is dead, but blogs, due to the nature of how you can, blogs are SEO, searchable, indexable. Blogs are powerful, man. Like in the background, as ClickFunnels 2.0 is coming online, and a lot of these funnel software companies are creating new, new services, more efficient services. You're going to start seeing Shopify, Amazon market, the Amazon stores or whatever. Like they're going to start funnelizing them, bringing in that funnel, upsell, downsell. It's already happening, but get aggressive with that. You're going to see a lot of these companies all merge towards that same functionality, like the ClickFunnels 2.0 is going to be very robust cart, very robust blog, all this very robust across all these services, so you don't have to go out for outside services, and be super functional. I've seen some of it. It's awesome. um I don't think I've seen. I'm not like a behind the scenes guy, so they aren't like Misha. You get to see the behind the scenes guy. Those are the people that are in ClickFunnels pushing real revenue and stuff like that. I just happen to go to Funnel Hacking Live and get to see the sizzle reel a week or two before the rest of the world. So anyway, let's get that straight. But I am smart enough to know and see that all ClickFunnels and the other funnel software companies, Amazon, the Amazon store, Shopify, these other companies, they're all heading the same direction as funnels become more pronounced and prevalent. As you know, clearly Russell Brunson's got his old e-commerce. He's big push into e-commerce. So have I gone on enough about that? Let's see. What the hell was I talking about? My story. I was going to tell you how oh yes, shilling. Um, my story. What a riff. That was amazing. Um, oh yes, the blogosphere being SEO searchable, my YouTube channel. I'm just going back through the conversation. It's too bad this wasn't live. You can tell me where I was. Maybe I'll hit pause for a second. Oh yes, I remember where I was now. That was an amazing rant, by the way. Thank you for listening. Uh, I needed to frame my question. So, and the question was, okay, now that I'm repurposing the contract content and getting my arms around that, now the next way to do it is to systemize going out to get interviewed on other people's YouTube channels, podcasts, and blogs, and talk about what I'm up to, talk about my show, the Table Rush Talk Show, and then start putting myself out there that way. And so Russell is the master at that. He's the master at affiliate relationships, at partnering, at strategically partnering with other people. He's gifted at it, and he loves it. This is the other thing. Anybody that doesn't know Russell Brunson, he freaking loves it. Like, he loves it. He lives, breathes, and eats this stuff. Like, it's in his DNA. I don't believe he could do anything else. So it's authentic to the core from what I see, right? Anyhow, thank you for listening to that little bit of the rant. So where was I? I'll pause again. I'm back. So he's the master at that, super strategic about it. I was going to ask him if I got a chance to be on the hot seat. Yo, Russell, I've got this podcast. I've been at it for a little over a year, publishing every day. I'm, having success. And actually, a really cool part of this thought process for me is I needed to succinctly have my story in line. I needed to be able to tell my story quickly in a minute, 2 minutes, 3 minutes of how I got to the podcast. Great. Now, this is where I am with the podcast. I want to put the word out there via going on other people's shows. What's the best way to do that? That was going to be my question. I was super excited to talk about that and hear from the man himself what he was going to say. I have an idea of what he's going to say because I've seen it in some training, but to get that answer from the man himself, I mean, how energizing would that be? How validating would that be? That would just be like over the top. Like, I'm sure out of that day, put myself out there to, I don't know how many other shows, podcasts, YouTube channels, bloggers saying, interview me. Um, Holy mackerel. I feel like I'm starting to get my legs back under me, people. Thank you for listening. Thank you for making it through this arc of 5 or 6 or 7 episodes, whatever it is, where I was really just, and I still kind of am, out of sorts. I am so excited right now. I have so much inspiration is plowing through me. Um, Opportunities to help people. Just, oh gosh, I'll save it for a next episode. I've just, the so much good stuff's happening. Love to all. Keep listening, keep following. Let's grow together. Take the messy action. It's totally worth it. I'm out.
Na 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 na. Na 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 na.